It's obvious. We start on that bridge right there, then jump down to that one that heads off to the right at 30 degrees, and then those two that look like two sides of a trapezoid.
When Dwayne Johnson recently showed up at the Toronto International Film Festival, fans got exactly the kind of update they'd been hoping for, because he finally revealed some concrete news about Jumanji 4. For anyone who's followed this franchise over the last decade, it's no secret that the modern reboot has grown into one of Sony's most reliable blockbusters. Since Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle in 2017 and Jumanji The Next Level in 2019, the series has completely reinvented itself, raking in more than $1.7 billion worldwide. That's no small feat, especially for a property that started out as a beloved 1995 Robin Williams fantasy adventure and could have easily been left in the nostalgia bin. Instead, the reboot showed there was still plenty of life in the idea, so it's only natural that fans have been eager for news on the next chapter. After The Next Level hit theaters and pulled in another huge box office haul, reports came out that a third movie in the rebooted run was already being developed. But then, like so many projects, it got delayed. The COVID-19 pandemic slowed everything down, and director Jake Kasdan shifted gears to focus on his other big project, Red One. So for years, fans were left wondering if Jumanji 4 was really happening or if it had quietly stalled. That's why Sony's announcement in 2024, locking in a December 11, 2026 release date, felt like a huge sigh of relief. The franchise had always aimed for that pre-Christmas slot, and this kept the tradition alive. The studio also confirmed that Kasdan would once again return to direct, and of course, the core cast, Dwayne Johnson, Kevin Hart, Jack Black, and Karen Gillan, would all be back. Each of them has openly expressed how much they enjoy these roles, and that enthusiasm has always translated on screen. Alongside them, longtime producers like Matt Tolmach, Johnson himself, Danny Garcia, Hiram Garcia, and Kasdan are all returning too, while the screenplay is being crafted by Jeff Pinkner and Scott Rosenberg. With that kind of lineup, fans already had plenty of reason to be excited, but what everyone really wanted was a sign that production was officially moving forward. That's exactly what Johnson delivered at TIFF. While sitting down for his In Conversation With panel, he confirmed that filming on Jumanji 4 is set to kick off in November 2025. For fans, this wasn't just news, it was proof that the film isn't stuck in development limbo anymore. It has momentum, a locked-in schedule, and a clear path toward that 2026 release date. On top of that, Johnson also gave some insight into why his chemistry with Kevin Hart works so well, pointing back to their first team-up in Central Intelligence. That natural back and forth has since become one of the franchise's biggest strengths. So, what does this all mean for Jumanji 4? First and foremost, it means the long wait is finally paying off. After years of silence, cameras will actually roll in 2025, and with the holiday release window already set, fans can trust that Sony is committed to delivering another adventure on schedule. Even though plot details are still unknown, Kevin Hart has hinted that this might actually be the last film in the franchise, which adds even more weight to the project. And way back in 2019, not long after The Next Level was released, Johnson teased that his villainous character Jurgen the Brutal wasn't just a one-off avatar. He hinted that Jurgen had a player identity behind him, and that could finally be revealed in this next film. For fans, this is the kind of speculation that keeps the anticipation alive. Because Jumanji has always been about more than just action, it's about mystery, humor, and the quirky dynamics between the players and their avatars. And since it's been such a long wait since 2019, the fact that Johnson confirmed production is back on track feels like the first major step toward finally seeing how the story unfolds. The chemistry between the cast is a huge reason this reboot has worked so well. Johnson and Hart's comedic timing is the backbone, while Jack Black constantly steals scenes and Karen Gillan adds both action chops and heart. But it's not just the performances, it's also Kasdan's ability to balance the humor with genuine stakes that keep audiences coming back. So with all the main players returning, the hope is that Jumanji 4 won't just repeat what came before, but will find a way to raise the bar. And timing-wise, Johnson himself could really use another massive hit. Although he's still one of Hollywood's most bankable stars, the last few years have been a bit mixed for him. His DC debut, Black Adam, didn't land the way he hoped. It struggled with critics and underperformed at the box office. Then his holiday action film Red One got panned. Of course, he still found success by reprising Maui in Moana 2, which became a huge Disney hit. Looking ahead, 2026 already looks like a massive year for him. In July, he'll star in the live-action Moana, and then just 5 months later, Jumanji 4 will drop. Plus, in late 2025, his drama The Smashing Machine could potentially put him in awards conversations. So, if Jumanji 4 delivers, it could mark a big turning point in cementing his box office dominance again. It's also worth remembering just how big this franchise has been financially. Welcome to the Jungle pulled in $961.6 million worldwide, and The Next Level added another $792.5 million. That's nearly $1.8 billion combined, not even counting the original Jumanji or the 2005 spin-off Zathura. Altogether, the brand has cleared over $2 billion at the global box office, so there's every reason to believe that if Kasdan and the team capture that same adventurous spirit again, Jumanji 4 could be another huge crowd pleaser. But there is one big challenge looming over this release: competition. December 2026 is shaping up to be a brutal month for blockbusters. Right now, Jumanji 4 is scheduled to release just 1 week before Avengers Doomsday and Dune Part 3. That's a tough lineup to go up against. Even though the MCU isn't quite at its peak anymore, Doomsday is being hyped as the biggest event since Avengers Endgame, bringing together the X-Men, Fantastic Four, and plenty of returning heroes. And then you've got Denis Villeneuve's Dune, which has only grown in popularity with each film. So while holiday timing has always worked out for Jumanji before, this time it's riskier. The franchise is fun and has proven itself, but it's hard to ignore the sheer weight of those other event films. That's why some are already speculating that Sony might decide to push Jumanji 4 into 2027 instead. On one hand, that would give the creative team more breathing room and avoid getting overshadowed. On the other, fans have already waited years, so another delay might be disappointing. But realistically, the best outcome would be releasing it in a window where it has space to shine. Because Jumanji isn't just another blockbuster, it's a franchise that has consistently delivered crowd-pleasing entertainment. It doesn't need to compete on the same epic scale as Marvel or Dune. What makes these films special is the mix of humor, adventure, and heartfelt moments. That's the formula that worked in 2017 and 2019, and it's what could make the fourth movie a standout even in a packed release schedule. At the end of the day, the news from Johnson is exactly what fans have been waiting to hear. After years of delays and uncertainty, the fact that filming is locked for November 2025 gives everyone something to look forward to. Whether this turns out to be the grand finale or just another wild ride in the jungle, it's clear that Jumanji 4 has the pieces in place to be another holiday smash. And with Johnston, Hart, Black, and Gillan all back in action, audiences can expect plenty of laughs, over-the-top adventures, and maybe even a few surprises that tie back to the mysteries hinted at in The Next Level. So while the competition in December 2026 is fierce, and the wait until filming begins still feels long, fans can finally relax knowing that Jumanji 4 is officially happening. Because sometimes, the biggest win is just getting the game started again. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one.